Hai, aku Aulia. Di sini aku akan membahas tentang BRICS versus Bretton Woods. Kira-kira siapa ya yang akan menguasai dunia? Kalau kalian tertarik dengan isu ini, jangan lupa simak video ini sampai habis ya. Selama lebih dari 70 tahun, dunia berjalan dengan satu aturan main ekonomi. Aturan yang dibuat oleh Amerika Serikat dan sekutunya setelah Perang Dunia Kedua. Sebuah sistem yang kita kenal sebagai Bretton Woods. Tapi sekarang ada kekuatan baru yang mengguncang sistem itu, namanya BRICS. Koalisi negara-negara berkembang yang berani menantang tatanan ekonomi global yang sudah lama dikuasai Barat. Pertanyaannya adalah, apakah BRICS benar-benar bisa mengubah dunia? Atau ini hanya gerakan simbolis tanpa kekuatan nyata? Di video ini, kita akan membahas isu ini dari kacamata ilmu hubungan internasional berdasarkan buku Global Politics karya Andrew Heworth dan International Relations dari EIR Foundation.
Untuk memahami BRICS, kita harus paham dulu apa yang sedang mereka tantang. Tahun 1944, di sebuah hotel di New Hampshire, Amerika Serikat, wakil dari 44 negara berkumpul. Mereka merancang sistem ekonomi internasional baru pasca Perang Dunia Kedua. Hasilnya, sistem Bretton Woods. Sistem ini melahirkan tiga pilar utama ekonomi global yang kita kenal sampai sekarang, IMF atau Dana Moneter Internasional, World Bank atau Bank Dunia, dan yang kemudian berkembang menjadi WTO atau Organisasi Perdagangan Dunia. Andrew Heworth dalam bukunya Global Politics menjelaskan bahwa sistem ini dirancang dengan tujuan utama yaitu menjaga stabilitas ekonomi global, tapi dengan cara yang sangat menguntungkan negara-negara maju terutama Amerika Serikat. Hasilnya, dolar Amerika menjadi mata uang cadangan dunia. IMF dan World Bank sering memaksa negara berkembang menjalankan kebijakan ekonomi ala Barat sebagai syarat mendapat bantuan, dan negara-negara Global South nyaris tidak punya suara dalam pengambilan keputusan. Ini yang kemudian membuat negara-negara berkembang mulai berpikir, sudah waktunya kita punya sistem sendiri. Jadi, apa sebenarnya yang BRICS coba bangun? Pertama, New Development Bank atau NDB ini adalah bank pembangunan milik BRICS yang didirikan tahun 2015 yang menawarkan pinjaman ke negara berkembang tanpa syarat-syarat ketat ala IMF. Tidak ada kewajiban privatisasi, tidak ada tekanan untuk memotong subsidi rakyat, dan ini langsung menyerang salah satu kritik terbesar terhadap World Bank dan IMF. Kedua, wacana de-dolarisasi. BRICS secara aktif mendorong penggunaan mata uang lokal dalam perdagangan antara negara anggota, Rusia dan China, misalnya sudah mulai melakukan transaksi dalam rubel dan yuan. Tujuannya jelas, mengurangi ketergantungan pada dolar Amerika. Ketiga, representasi yang lebih adil. Dalam buku EIR, Bab Global Political Economy menjelaskan bahwa sistem Bretton Woods selama ini memberi negara maju hak suara yang lebih jauh besar dibanding negara berkembang di IMF dan World Bank. BRICS ingin mengubah ketidakseimbangan ini. Kalau berhasil, ini bukan sekedar perubahan ekonomi, ini perubahan struktural dari tatanan dunia yang sudah berjalan 70 tahun lebih. Tapi kita harus jujur, BRICS bukan tanpa kelemahan. Hewitt sendiri mengingatkan bahwa kapasitas BRICS untuk bertindak sebagai satu entitas sangat terbatas. Brazil dan India adalah demokrasi, sementara China dan Rusia menjalankan sistem otoritarian. Ada persaingan serius antara China dan India yang bisa mengganjal solidaritas blok ini. Dari sudut pandang teori realisme dalam hubungan internasional yang diajarkan di buku EIR Bab International Relation Theory, setiap negara pada akhirnya akan mendahulukan kepentingan nasionalnya sendiri, dan kepentingan China belum tentu sejalan dengan kepentingan Brazil ataupun Afrika Selatan. Selain itu, sampai hari ini, belum ada mata uang tunggal BRICS, belum ada agenda konkret yang bisa menandingi infrastruktur IMF dan World Bank yang sudah berdiri lebih dari 7 dekade.
Jadi, apakah BRICS akan mengubah tatanan ekonomi dunia? Jawabannya mungkin belum sekarang, tapi arahnya jelas. Dunia sedang bergerak menuju multipolaritas, sistem yang selama ini dikuasai oleh satu pihak yang perlahan mulai digugat. Seperti yang dikatakan Hewitt, tatanan dunia abad ke-21 bukan lagi soal siapa yang paling kuat, tapi siapa yang mampu membangun koalisi dan legitimasi. Dan BRICS dengan segala keterbatasannya sedang mencoba hal itu. Terima kasih sudah menonton. Aku Aulia Ramadhani, pamit undur diri. Kalau video ini bermanfaat, jangan lupa like dan komen pendapat kalian di bawah ya. Bye!
Maraming buhay ang binawi ng bagyong Pino.
Imagine you wake up one morning and the world outside your window looks different. The beach that was once 10 kilometers from your home now touch your doorstep. The rainy season is a month late. The rice fields are cracking. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. Welcome to A Changing World, a review on climate change.
Saatnya berpetualangan, datang ke Taman Pelangi. Bersama teman-teman semua, yuk kita saling membantu. Aku punya tas pelangi dengan si Joko. Bergegaslah ayo berpetualang. Saatnya
Climate change is the long-term shift in temperatures and weather pattern on Earth. Since the Industrial Revolution of the 1850s, human activities have been the main driver, burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas releases greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, especially CO2 and methane. The result, Earth's average temperature has risen by 1.1 degrees Celsius since pre-industrial times. That number sounds small, but the impact enormous. Let's dive into our study case, Indonesia. As the world's largest archipelago, Indonesia is highly vulnerable to climate change. First, sea level rise. Jakarta, a city of 10 million people, sinks an average of 25 cm every year in some areas. BMKG record shows sea levels in Indonesia waters are rising 0.8 until 1.2 cm every year. Second, extreme weather events. Flash flood in Kalimantan in 2022, prolonged drought in NTT in 2023. The 2023 El Nino caused the worst forest fires in a decade. Third, food security threats. Changing rainfall patterns are shifting planting seasons. Rice productivity is projected to drop by up to 10% by 2020 without adaptations. This isn't just an environmental issue, it's about the survival of millions. So, who is responsible? Globally, the top 5 emitting countries are China, the US, India, Russia, and Japan. But the heaviest impact fall on developing nations, including Indonesia. This is what we call climate injustice. Within Indonesia itself, deforestation is a critical problem. We are losing tropical forests that absorb massive amounts of carbon. Added to an energy sector still 60% reliant on coal. Solutions exist, but they require political will, innovation, and collective awareness. But this is not a story without hope. The world is moving and you can be part of that movement. At the global level, the 2015 Paris Agreement set a target: keep warming below 1.5 derajat Celsius. Indonesia has committed to reducing emissions by 29% by 2030 independently. At the technology level, solar and wind energy are now cheaper than coal. Indonesia has 207 gigawatts of solar potential, still largely untapped. At the personal level, small daily choices have real impact. Reduce beef consumption, save electricity, use public transportation, plant trees, elect climate-conscious leaders, speak up for change. This art is not an inheritance from our ancestors. It is a loan from our children.
How does the United Nations and facilitate diplomacy? How and why this is created? Principal organs. How the function? If your high interest law and diplomacy. The liquid of nation. Outlet of isolation. Pilot to unfriendly for its known status in the world. Wholly ineffective. Even more destructive. During the final months, delegation by United Nations be more effective at global conflict prevention. Come to existence October 1945. Character of the United Nations. In January 1946, General Assembly Security Council met for the first time, adopted its first resolution adopted on the request of the First Army. Members of the Security Council under two guys: General Assembly, Security Council, United Nations, Voice Organization. One General Assembly, two Security Council, three Economic and Social Council, four Internal Council of Justice, 5. The Senate Secretariat, 6. Security Council, and 1 in Court of the Justice. Future groups for each own number. Ultimately deliberated body of the United Nations for voting had a profile in diplomacy. Yearly session. Some less important issues. General Assembly, Color of the Nation, Assembly President of First States of the Liaison with major powers and the President of the Assembly major power. 1954. Maintain global peace and security. Conflict has been regional task for gas council membership. This is Africa, Australia, France, Russia, China, India, Irlandia, Kenya, Norway, Mexico, 2022, Albania, Brazil, Gabon, Ghana, also United Arab, but burning members of views change. General Assembly referendum of the Good Fight Security Council resolution are legally binding. Rules for resolution and the Security Council are legally binding. Interesting section. Rules of this has applied or is amendment. Across by the 825 this is federal. The right to file other legal question why Russia taking Ukraine to court. Economic and Social Council jurisdiction. Years terms. Turkish subsidies. Radio Commission, Government Justice Commission, Government Work Commission, Government Name Commission, Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights Commission. More commonly known as the Rights of the Advisory Opinion. May not hold any other office during their 9 years term. May not hold any other office during their 9-year terms. They speak for all office. Cannot compel states' operations, relies on states' conscience. boots on the ground organ, carries out the day-to-day operation. This is hello, my name is Antonia Walters. Thousands of staff. Day-to-day oversight. The last Rulership Council was first established in 1945, supervised the 11 United Territories, with the territories towards standing on their own. Previously met annually, we recorded to when our territories were self-governed or independent. Still has a residency, so it's ready if it's ever called upon. Possibly returning, redefine its scope. Heaven is declared yet. If you enjoy it, thanks for watching. Bye bye.
I just had to let you know you're.
Let's listen to this song.
My father does it too. I have to wear a burqa. The burqa is blue. The sky over Kabul is also very blue. The blue is from the burqa. Burqa, burqa, blue.
Many women are not seeing there. The rise of the Taliban makes it difficult for them to move for their own lives. They just want to learn and get an education. Turning to power in Afghanistan, the Taliban has imposed systematic and extreme restriction on women. The regime has gradually excluded women from public life by banning them from attending school, working, appearing in the media, and traveling without a male relative, sparking global condemnation of these human rights abuses. Examples of physical violence include this video, public flogging, legalized domestic violence, and judicial system that lacks due process.
At just 10 years of age, this little girl is saved from a forced marriage. Her parents agreed to sell her to a man 15 years her senior for $2,500.
All of this was done just so they could get justice. As fellow women, let's support one another in response to what's happening to women in Afghanistan. Let's not turn a blind eye, they need our help. Let's put feminism into practice in our daily life.
A squirrel has more rights than a girl. in Afghanistan today because the public parks have been closed to women and girls by the Taliban.
I just had to let you know you're